Alright, YouTube, how we doing today? The Mike on Bike here. Gonna go do a little food vlog. I'm out in Chicagoland. It's a beautiful day, high 70s. We're about to go get ourselves an Italian beef. For those of you who aren't familiar with Italian beef or Chicago cuisine, it's like it's kind of a very thinly shaved beef or steak, and then you get hot peppers, sweet peppers, whatever you like, and then it's usually on a hoagie of some sort or a roll, and nobody does it like Johnnie's beef. They also have homemade Italian ice that's just out of this world. It blows anything else out of the water. The one downside with their Italian ice is they put like the whole halves of the lemons in there. So if you get lucky, you don't get a whole half of a lemon. If you get unlucky, it takes up a lot of your cup. But well worth it. Oh man, does it feel good to get out here. This is about as good as weather gets for riding in Chicagoland. Hope you're having a great start to your summer. I don't think it's even officially summer. We haven't had the summer solstice, but man, it feels like summer here. Yesterday was 90 degrees, and then we got thunderstorms in the evening, and I guess a couple tornadoes touched down as we had that weather system push through. Just turning on the Lake Street here in lovely, lovely Addison. I believe the location we're going to is in Elmwood Park. They have two locations. The original, like I said, I think is in Elmwood Park, and then the second one's in Arlington Heights. I grew up near the Arlington Heights location, so that one's nostalgic for me, but this one's closer to where I live now. I also have used my Cardo to record the audio here, but I don't think I've ever done it with the face open, so I'm curious to kind of see how that audio comes out. I have my visor up right now and my tinted visor down, but I'll hop on 83 here in a minute and we'll pop that down too. Get a little too windy. Oh, bumpy roads here in the suburbs and in the city. Illinois is just kind of prone to have them. For those of you that live in southern states or California or whatever, where you have year-round decent weather, if you come up to the Midwest or really anywhere in the north, you're gonna have a rude awakening with the roads. Pretty much as water gets into all the little cracks and crevices in the road, and then it freezes during the winter. Obviously, when water freezes, it expands. So it just expands that crack, so making the cracks bigger. It causes parts of the road to buckle. So there's the visor down. We'll see if there's better audio. But yeah, Chicago's known for some pretty nasty potholes. pretty bad cracks in the roads, just bumpy all around, which makes riding a motorcycle even more of an adventure. Trying to contest with these roads. I'm always like trying to look ahead, see where the bumps are going to be, and then see if there's a low spot in that bump. So initially my GPS wanted me to get on 290, but I know better. Right now on 290 there's so much road construction, it's not even funny. Not trying to get caught up in that, just on my way to get a sandwich. So instead we're going to take North Avenue. To ride my bike in shorts. I think it's kind of a goofy look, but today was just too nice, you know, to pass that opportunity up. Didn't want to be in long pants all day. Exit's always so backed up. Hey, front of the line. We love to see it. I've been meaning to try out this firewater barbecue on our left-hand side here. Haven't gotten around to it. But there is a really good Nashville hot chicken place next to it called Fry the Coop. You know, obviously we don't get a lot of Nashville hot chicken up here in Chicagoland. But I always tell people, if you want to be able to taste the chicken and not just spicy, go for the medium. Anything above that is just melt your face. So up here coming into Elmhurst, on our right-hand side here is a little white strip mall that has a dentist's office, and it cracks me up every single time because they have a motto or a slogan on the front of their building. It says, "We cater to cowards." I just think that's hilarious. Clearly they mean they maybe specialize in treating people that have anxiety based around dentist offices or doctor's offices in general maybe, but "we cater to cowards" is just such an interesting phrasing for that. I don't think I'd be caught dead walking into there. Call my myself a coward. I don't really have issues going to the dentist anyway. I think I've got a pretty healthy relationship with dentists. My uncle was my dentist growing up. So, not necessarily a scary thing for me, but for some... God, there's a manhole cover like every 10 feet. It's crazy. Also, if you do live in Chicagoland and you haven't checked out Elmhurst, such a nice little downtown area. Typically friendly people. The only thing I'd say to really look out for is there are all these little kids on their scooters and bikes and whatever. No parents around because it's such a safe area. You know, you'll see 6, 7, 8-year-olds riding around on their own, which is fine. But they just dart out into traffic. And it's weird too because Elmhurst has a little community space that's called like Tiny Town or something like that. And it's like a bicycle safety education course. I don't know if there's a cost to it or if it's through the park district or what. I don't know what the specifics are, but you would think in a town that specifically has an area designed to teach kids bike safety that there would be some. But, you know, I live a couple towns over and never have that problem. But over there in Elmhurst, man, I can't tell you how many times I've slammed on the brakes because some kid just isn't paying attention, crosses the road without even looking. Half the time they don't even have a green light in their direction. They just dart out into the road. It's nuts. So this is some of that construction I was talking about on the expressway. This is just we're passing under the expressway, but still, I'm not trying to get wrapped up in all that crap. Hopefully I don't go picking up a nail or anything. If I do, I've got a tire patch kit in my saddlebag along with a pump. Pretty much a straight shot down to Johnnie's, just 6 miles on this road, and we'll be on our left-hand side. This is North Avenue. This is one road that all the way from the city of Chicago all the way out to the suburbs, it's the same road, just a straight line. It's kind of nice, you know, if you need to avoid the expressway. The downside is a ton of lights, obviously. I know a lot of guys lane split and like lane filter and stuff. I'm just not about that. You know, in states where it's legal and drivers are taught to watch out for it, fine, do your thing. You know what, even in this state, if that's your prerogative, if that's how you want to, you know, risk your life riding, go for it. I'm nobody to stop anybody else. But I've got saddlebags on my bikes a little on the wide side. And I've seen so many issues with cars just trying to dart between 2 spaces or they suddenly decide to change lanes even though they're stopped and they start to get over. I'm just not trying to, you know, clip a car door or a mirror or whatever. Traffic, traffic, traffic. Here's one of those famous bumps. Even look at the center line where the stripes are painted. There's just a straight up crack running all the way along it. Especially scary for like newer riders, because if you, I mean, I like to try and get across those cracks like quickly, but if you kind of slow merge over into the next lane, your tires are going to want to take that line. Like they're going to want to fall into that groove. And it can be a little disconcerting if you think you're gonna be moving right, and then suddenly the bike kind of stands up a little more. So yeah, I don't know. I always try to be quick about my lane changes in general. You know, you just make sure you're safe to do it, and then execute it, and that's that. Instead of leaving all the other drivers wondering what you're gonna do. You know, make decisive movements. And go about your business. My dad doesn't ride a motorcycle, but he obviously drives a car, and he is one of those guys that'll be changing lanes for 2.5 minutes, you know, almost damn near riding the middle of the lane. It drives me nuts. Like, pick one. Decisively change lanes. Get away from these big semis, hopefully. He's back on the brakes. Like I said, it's the one downside to North Avenue. A lot of stoplights. believe Grand Avenue is another one that runs parallel that goes all the way from the city to the suburbs as well. And you know what? I could be wrong about North, or I could be wrong about Grand. Maybe one of them jogs over or something. For the most part, Chicago is on a grid, so you do get pretty straight lines, but there are anomalies. Okay, gonna get over, decisive movement, blinker on, head check. We're good. We've still got about 2.5 miles to go here. Not sure what town we're in exactly. This might be like Melrose Park. Something like that. Brown's Chicken and Pasta. Another thing is everyone's got their favorite, you know, chicken chain, whatever, if it's Popeyes, KFC, whatever. To me, it'll always be Brown's. But Brown's kind of has almost disappeared. There's very few left. Fun fact, you may have heard of the Brown's Chicken murders. There was a pretty serious mass murder, I want to say late 80s, early 90s, at a Brown's Chicken. And my high school English teacher actually had the murderers as her students. I'm pretty sure they went to my high school. I don't know if she was working at a different school at the time, but I'm pretty sure they went to my high school. Really grisly scene, I guess. But they make some damn good fried chicken. Made it like a whole 10 feet before we had to stop again. Gotta love it. And it is so damn hot. Feels great when you're moving, but sitting still, no fun. left. Alright, we shouldn't experience too much traffic here on out. It's about a mile down on our left. And I am hungry. Again, if you've never been to Johnnie's, this place is cash only, very small menu. While you're waiting in line, make sure to look at that menu because these guys mean business. You go up there, you order fast. You'll hear other people say crazy things if you don't know Italian beef lingo. So for instance, my order, when I ordered today, is going to be beef hot wet, fries, large ice. That's it. They know exactly what that means. Beef hot means I want an Italian beef with hot peppers. Wet means I want them to add some of the au jus, which is like the dipping juice, basically, that the beef cooks in. And then fries are fries. And the large Italian ice, large ice. The other thing to know is if you see a combo on the menu, it's not like getting a combo at McDonald's where you get fries and a drink. A combo is an Italian beef with an Italian sausage inside of it. They're also phenomenal. In my opinion, you gotta be in the mood for the sausage because that's gonna be your dominating flavor. I'm pretty sure they charbroil their sausages. But yeah, it is beef flavor, so if you're in the mood for a sausage, you know, you could get a combo, but I'm just looking for the beef. And here it is up on our left, Johnnie's. They do also have hot dogs and tamales and some other things. Let's see if I can even get into this, John. Yeah. Holy shit, line down the block.
Hello there.
Johnnie's beef. I did get some photos and I got, yeah, some photos. Man, I can't even think straight. That was so dang good. But the beef is super spicy. I still feel it on my lips a little bit. The Italian ice, the consistency is like nothing I've ever had. It's like, I don't know, like snow. It's like the finest Italian ice I've ever had, you know, rather than like large ice granules. It's like fluffy. The fries were fries. Honestly, in my opinion, a little bit undersalted, and I usually like very little salt on my fries, so it's kind of saying something if I thought it was lacking a little bit of salt. But I do love that their fries are like those super skinny shoestring type of fries. I don't know why, but for me those always just hit. Super tasty. It's always interesting at Johnnie's too. There you know, there's so few tables that, you know, anytime I'm at a spot like that and I'm lucky enough to get a table, I'll tell people that are walking by if it's just one or two people and they look normal, you know, if you guys are looking for a seat, like, feel free to join me. And I did, and turned out it was this couple that had just landed at O'Hare. They're in from Washington, D.C. Their first stop was Johnnie's Beef. So cool just being able... Sorry about that. I had gotten a phone call, so the audio probably cut out there for a minute or two. But anyway, got to know some random people from Washington, D.C. Got to tell them the tourist traps to avoid and things that they should go and see. So that was fun. And then at the table right next to us, there was a group of people that I'm not 100% sure if they were doing a podcast or if it was people from the news or like what was going on. But they definitely were using that radio announcer type voice. And, you know, they had a really sophisticated audio recording device, but no camera besides like a cell phone taking pictures. So I'm not sure exactly what they were doing, but it was some sort of story. They said that they had just done one other hot dog spot. It was interesting to me that like they're podcasting or whatever it is about hot dogs and they end up at Johnnie's. Like that is an Italian beef and Italian sausage place. They do have hot dogs, but I mean, I think of like 10 other places before I think of Johnnie's for hot dogs. They did go to Gene and Jude's. They had said that. But yeah, I don't know. Go to like Maxwell Street. Johnnie's is a good spot no matter what you get, but it just feels funny to go there specifically for hot dogs. I made the mistake of not putting on any sunscreen, and I am normally a transparent human being, so I'm sure I'm going to be sunburned, but hopefully that's just a good base layer for a tan this summer. Looking forward to all the bike nights starting. There are at least 3 dealerships just near me that host bike nights. You know, everything from live music to food trucks, raffles, just all kinds of fun stuff. And then the town I live in, from June all the way through August, every Thursday night they have free live music. And most people roll up with their own cooler and have sandwiches and I'm pretty sure beers. I don't think that's like technically allowed, but I don't think anybody does anything about it. This dude's over here having a good day. Rapping, listening to his music. Downside to riding a motorcycle is, man, would I like to be munching on that Italian ice right now. It is so hot out. That was so refreshing. this up here before I get this thing back in the stable. So a little bit below half the tank. But I never like to let it get too low. You never know, especially on cars, but I don't know on motorcycles, but you never know how low in the tank your fuel pump is. And the only thing that lubricates the bearings in your fuel pump is fuel. So, you know, if you're running on fumes or if the gas is below where that pump is located, it's not getting lubricated, you're gonna kill your fuel pump. And then it's not just as easy as replacing your fuel pump, you have to replace the whole tank. So, not looking to do that. So I always like to keep my vehicles above half, and there's absolutely no question. Premiums go. Go, go, go. Bumpy roads, take me home. That one feels good. I'm gonna be going out to Oak Park tonight. We're going to a place called Maya del Sol, and after that a friend's got a softball game, so we're gonna go and cheer her on. I don't know if we'll stay for the whole thing, maybe just a couple innings, but I love summertime shy, even though people in the city would probably kill me for calling this shy. Chicagoland, the suburbs of Chicago, what have you. That pothole was the size of my head. Yeah, I missed it. Is spraying rocks at me. It smacked me in the shins. No, I shouldn't say rocks, little pebbles, but freaking stings. It's like getting shot with little paintballs. That's my, what do you call it? My Tourette's. My throttle Tourette's. You know, some people have Tourette's for their speech. Mine's for my throttle. Every once in a while it just, I don't know, it just comes out.